I wanted to be perfectly clear that Troy Ave was never charged with the murder of anyone. According to what they said he was charged with in court, he was charged with 2 gun possessions. Troy Ave would have only got 5.
How's he lying though?
Because one, he telling the whole story about some fictitious shit, him screwing and slipping and falling with the guns. He doing all sorts of movie. You know that shit's fabric. You can't do this shit he was saying. He said the mother described it as a violent spooning. What kind of weirdo shit is that?
Yo, what's up, people? We back. Another day on Keep It G News, man. And it's everybody know by now. Taxstone has been found guilty for the murder of BANGA MCPHATTER. You know, we know I've seen it. I done covered it a few times on my channel. But somehow, some way, probably because I ain't big enough, you know, the bigger channels don't really got the information. But the story is still getting misconstrued, you know. People are still running with this narrative that Taxstone told. And this letter that Taxstone wrote is the reason why Troy Avenue told. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. Now, I already did that letter. You know, I read the letter. I broke it down for people. And I would suggest most people go back and watch that video, man, because that letter is getting taken way out of context. Way out of context. But in this video, I want to talk about Troy Avenue and the role that Troy Avenue played in Taxstone getting a break. And I don't think it was intentional, you know, because people don't take the stand on people with intent to give them a break. Nah. If that's the case, they're not even going to come to court. You know, we know saying that in real life where people as a witness and they won't show up because they don't want the guy to go to jail. Troy Avenue was actively trying to send Taxstone to jail. Now, he succeeded, partly, because Taxstone didn't get charged with first-degree murder. He actually got found guilty on manslaughter, which is a way lesser sentence. Now, Taxstone is not out of the woods. And that's another thing I don't see most people reported on, because Taxstone already pled guilty to a federal gun case and he's facing 20 years on that case. So, regardless of what happens in the state, he still got that federal gun charge that he pled guilty for, and he's facing 20 years, like I say. So, it depends on if they run that fed time with the state time, which they don't like to do. You know, the state want their time and the feds want their time. Now, the feds is going to supersede the state, so whatever happens, whatever time he catch federally, he's going to have to do that first. Now, if they run the state time with it, we'll see. I doubt it, though, you know. So this could be a situation where Taxstone is going to be locked up way longer than what people think. You know, a lot of people talking about 15 years and, you know, might be a little longer than that. You know, he might be looking at 20, 25 before he's actually released, because on that Fed case, he's going to do 85% of the time. Now, with the state, you know, they get broken down differently. And totaling with the state charges, I think he's facing about 20 years, 25 years. So, we'll see what happens. But like I said, in this video, I want to point out the fact that what Troy Avenue did actually helped Taxstone. Listen to this. The Brooklyn-born musician, whose real name is Roland Collins, testified at Taxstone's murder trial that he chose to fight back after he was shot and wounded in a backstage melee on May 25th, 2016. It's fight or flight. I'm always going to fight because at that point you could die, Collins, 37, said in Manhattan Supreme Court. Collins described grappling with Taxstone, a hip-hop podcast whose real name is Daryl Campbell, over the gun. It looks like if you see people wrestling in high school, wrestling, that's the position. When the shot goes off, I see the light from the spark and I hear the shot, he testified. This is all happening fast. I get up, I start fighting Taxstone, trying to take him, grab the gun. Another shot goes off. I put my leg up to kind of block the shot from hitting me in the face and the chest. That's when Campbell shot him in both legs, he told jurors. I got up, Collins said. I'd rather die fighting. People die from leg shots. I'd rather die fighting than land on the ground. I got up immediately. Collins finally put his hand on the gun and got his fleeing rival in his sights, only to have the weapon misfire, he testified. Only then did he notice that his pal bodyguard, Roland "BANGA" MCPHATTER, lay on the ground face down. I rolled his body over and I'm like, bang, get up, come on. I'm smacking him like, come on, bro, get up. Collins testified, and his eyes was rolling to the back of his head. His shirt was red, so I could tell he got shot. 2 bystanders were also wounded during the shooting in the crowded VIP room at T.I.'s concert, and Collins was initially hit with attempted murder charges and gun charges for his role in the incident. Collins' lawyer told the Post that the prosecutors promised him a 1-year sentence instead of the 15 years he could have faced in exchange for his testimony at Campbell's trial. Collins said he and McPhatter walked into the VIP room before he was scheduled to join T.I. on stage and saw Campbell. He said there were about 100 people packed into the room when he heard Campbell shout out, "What's poppin'?" in what he perceived to be a threatening way. Banga turns around to me and says, "I'm gonna rock him," which means I'm gonna hit him, Collins testified. And then I wink at him. I tell him, "Do your thing." He said that's when Campbell reached for his waistband and pulled out a gun, prompting a fight that ended with McPhatter dead. In the aftermath, Collins said concert goers started to flee when someone yelled the cops were coming. I'm like, "Nah, F that. I'm staying with him," he told the jurors, referring to McPhatter. Now you heard in that first video I played how Taxstone Man was talking about Troy Avenue, how he sensationalized the events. You feel me? He said he referenced it as a violent spooning, which is crazy. I can't agree to that. Now, like I told y'all in my last video, I don't have no dug in this fight. I don't care about what happens to either one of these guys. But my goal on YouTube is to get these narratives correct, because a lot of guys be speaking on things that they not really privy to. You feel me? They really ain't got the information. Even if they've been in trouble, because that's the thing we confuse. A lot of guys been in jail, but a lot of guys don't really know about their case, you know? They get taken advantage of. They get railroaded. They don't know the law. And one of the things I pride myself on, especially with the situation I went through, is I studied up on these things. Like, I know the terminologies. You know, I know the do's and the don'ts. You feel me? I know how to relate it also to people so they can understand it. Because that letter that was supposed to be a snitch letter, like I told y'all, it wasn't. Now, what I mean by what Troy Avenue did, as far as the break that he gave Taxstone, because the cockiness and how he relayed the story, because if he really wanted to send Taxstone to prison, which he did, but his arrogance and his cockiness, he said too much on the stand. Because when Troy Avenue told these prosecutors that he winked at the BANGA and BANGA swung, that basically took the first degree murder charge off the table. I'm pretty sure the prosecutors was highly upset that he said that. But that's what happened when you cocky. That's what happened when you want to talk. Because he tried to snitch with arrogance. You understand what I'm saying? I think this is the first person that we have known worldwide that snitched with arrogance. He tried to still keep some level of dignity, like he was doing it in a gangster way. But it wasn't nothing gangster about what Troy Avenue did, because Troy Avenue didn't tell because of no letter. Troy Avenue told because he got caught with them guns, and Troy Avenue was facing 15 years on them guns. Like y'all just heard, they're giving him a deal. So he's only going to do a year. Might not even be jail time. It might be a year probation, because Taxstone is doing all the time. Now, the series of events and how it played out, I blame Troy Avenue. Because in that time, regardless of what Taxstone said, as far as, he said what's popping, Troy Avenue didn't have to react that way. He didn't have to. Now, that could be the cockiness in him. That's the arrogance. He couldn't let it slide. So he gave Banga the wink. He gave him a wink, and everything went left, and everything went opposite of what Troy Ave and Banga wanted it to go. Because Taxstone had the gun. He snuck the gun in the club, man. He did probably what he should have did in that situation. Now, it was a lot of people there, so it was kind of reckless. It actually was reckless. But he didn't know how they was going to handle it. There's no saying and nothing that we heard if Taxstone was by himself when he approached these guys and things went left. So it could have just been him and whoever Troy Ave was with, and he could have thought they was going to jump her. So that's how I reacted. We don't know, but we see how it played out. Taxstone is guilty. Troy Avenue is still a snitch. BANGA is dead. And it's an unfortunate situation. But I just wanted to do this video to get the narrative correct about the latter for one. Because that's important. Because I don't think it's fair for people on the internet to be calling Taxstone a snitch when that's not what happened. And also I wanted to point out the fact that Troy Avenue tried to tell with dignity. He tried to tell like a gangster if that's the thing. You know, I don't think that you can do it that way. I think telling is telling and snitching is snitching, and it can't be looked at no other type of way. You see how he tried to come in with the Tom Ford, you know, real slick and smooth with the shades, with the glasses on. Looked like they might have been Cartiers, or they could have been Tom Ford too. And he got on the stand, he said too much, and he got Taxstone to break. Now let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments. Like I say, this is Keep It G News. In my opinion, the realest news channel on YouTube, but people can beg to differ. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, support the movement, and I'm out.
I'm probably gonna die if I lead a clan. You got your turn and you turned your back. You turned around, ain't no turning back. I can't be the boss and no us and that. I'm bringing bow and I'm bipping with 2 times. I bought the drink and the kid got a coupon. Make 20,000 a neck on a futon. Sitting out, cause my brother in Jumon. Why you telling people you selling fentanyl? Why you telling feds you selling shit at all? Why you telling cops if you about to get it all? I'ma tell you now, then I'm already squeezing. You be dreaming about your dreams. I been living out my nightmares. I been missing, I been bad. The other night she was right there. I be lurking with my bros. I be crying with my mom. She be praying to the Lord that I don't turn into a monster. You be dreaming about your dreams. I been living out my nightmares. I been missing Kevin Bay.